Hello students. Yes, in the last class we are start discussing with the new lesson, that is electricity, and also we discussed the definition for electricity and we discussed the charges. In the charges we discussed about the two types of the charges, that is one of the positive charges and another one is the negative charge. After that we discussed some of the SI units and also we study about ammeter. And lastly, we start discussing with the electric potential and potential difference. As what we discussed for the definition for potential difference. If you see, the definition of the potential difference is, it is defined as the amount of work done in moving a unit charge from one point to the another point. What is defined as the potential difference? The potential difference is defined as the amount of the work done. How much of the amount, that means work done. If an object is moving from the one point to the another point, that we call as a potential difference. And also, I said in the next class, we are going to discuss the relation for the potential difference. What is the formula to find the potential difference? If you see that the formula to find the potential difference is PD. PD indicates the potential difference. Potential difference is equals to work done by quantity of the charge moved. How much of the charge is moved from the one place to the another place. The first is work done. How much of the work is done. Take an example. If you are moving from here in this place to the circle, that means how much of the work is done, how much of the distance you covered. To that, the quantity of the charge moved, how much you put the steps to cover that distance. Like that, what is potential difference? The potential difference is, what is the formula to find the potential difference? The formula to find the potential difference is equals to work done by quantity of the charge moved. What is the formula to find the potential difference? Potential difference is equals to work done divided by quantity of the charge moved. Or otherwise we can simply write as V is equals to W by Q. W indicates the work done. What indicates the W? W indicates the work done. And Q indicates the quantity of the charge moved. Q indicates the quantity of the charge. W indicates the work done. Therefore, V indicates the potential difference. What is the formula to find the potential difference? Potential difference is equals to W by Q. W is the work done. Q is the quantity of the charge. Therefore, what is potential difference? It is the amount. It is the amount of the, if you see what is the definition, it is the amount of the work done in a moving a unit charge from one point to the another point. That we called as an potential difference. What is the formula to find the potential difference? The formula to find the potential difference is work done divided by the quantity of the charge. Or otherwise we can give the formula V is equals to W by Q. W indicates the work and Q indicates the quantity of the charge. And if you see the SI unit of the electric potential, the SI unit of the electric potential is volt. V-O-L-T. Volt. What is the SI unit? If you see the SI unit of the electric potential, what is the SI unit of the electric potential? The SI unit of the electric potential is volt. V-O-L-T. Volt. And it is represented by the capital V. Understood the concept of the potential difference? What is potential difference? It is defined as the amount of the work done in moving a unit charge from the one point to the another point. That we called as a potential difference. Formula PD is equals to work done by quantity of the charge. V is equals to W by Q. Or the SI unit is equals to volt. Now we are going to see one problem regarding to this concept. Now we are going to see the one of the problem to explain this concept. Now take down the problem. Take down the one problem to explain the potential difference. The problem is, take down the problem. How much work is done? How much work is done in moving a charge of 2C, in moving a charge of 2C across 2 points, having a potential difference 12 volt. One more time, I just read the question. How much work is done in moving a charge of 2C across 2 points having a potential difference 12 volt? Therefore, we know the formula to find the V is equals to W by Q. But if you see in the question, they already give the value of the V, that is 12V. And also in the question, they given the value of the quantity of the charge. How much charge it is? The charge is 2C. In the question, they already given the value for the V. What is the value they given for the V? V is equals to 12 volt. And also they given the value for the Q, that is the charge, the quantity of the charge. What is the value they given for the quantity of the charge? That is 2C. But what we are going to calculate here? You are going to calculate in this question the work done. How much of the work is done? Therefore, if you do the cross multiplication to find the work, W is equals to V. Cross multiplication means V into Q. Therefore, what is the formula you will get to find the work? The formula to find the work, W is equals to V into Q. What is the formula to find the work? Work is equals to V into Q. Just substitute the value for the V as well as the Q. You already know that what is the value of the V in the question? 12V. Therefore, just substitute the value for the V. Therefore, 12V. And what is the value for the Q in the question? That is 2C. 2 into C. Therefore, 12 into 2, 12 2 is 24. The SI unit for the work is joule. That's why written as J. One more time, I just tell that in the question, they given the value of the V and also they given the value of the Q. In the question, what they given? In the question, they given the value of the V and also they given the value of the Q. You want to substitute that for the W. That is what you get the W for equation. Work is equals to V into Q. V is 12, Q is 2. Therefore, 12 2 is 24. Therefore, what is the work you will get? What is the amount of the work they did? The amount of the work is 24 joule. Understood the problem? Good. This is all about the concept of the potential difference. This is the concept of the potential difference. Next, in the next we are going to discuss about the two important definition in this chapter. One is voltmeter and the another one is the electric circuits. These are the very important two definitions in this chapter. What are the two important definitions? One is of the voltmeter and another one is the electric circuit. First, we will discuss about the voltmeter. Did anyone know what is voltmeter? Did anyone know what is voltmeter? If you see this, what is this voltmeter means? It is a device used to find, what is voltmeter? It is a device used to find potential difference. What is voltmeter? Voltmeter is a device, or otherwise we can call that voltmeter is an instrument. Voltmeter is a device or voltmeter is an instrument used to find the potential difference. What we are going to find? To find this potential difference, we are going to use the voltmeter. What is voltmeter then? The voltmeter is an instrument used to find the potential difference in a circuit. What is voltmeter? The instrument used to find the potential difference in the circuit. that we called as an voltmeter. And also, if you see this voltmeter in a circuit, the voltmeter is always connected to the parallel across the point between when the potential difference is measured. Where this voltmeter you can see in the circuit means in the parallel. Where you are going to see the voltmeter can be seen in the circuit in the parallel. I will show one circuit diagram and I will show to you how exactly the voltmeter should be connected. Understood? First of all, understood the concept of the voltmeter. What is voltmeter? The voltmeter is an instrument used to find the potential difference in the circuit that we called as an voltmeter. Yes, we are discussing about circuit. Then what is this circuit? What is electric circuit? Why we are going to use this circuits? If you see that what is this electric circuit means a continuous conducting path consisting of wires and other resistance switch between the two terminals of the cells or a battery. Along with that we called as an electric circuit. What is electric circuit? It is a continuous path, okay, in which the continuous path connected with the switch, batteries, resistance, everything is present in the continuous path. That continuous path we call it as an electric circuit. To know the electric circuit, we want some of the symbols. These are the some of the regular symbols. If you see this, these are the some of the regular symbols what we are going to use in the circuits. We will see and we will discuss some of the important symbols that we are going to use in the electric circuits. If you see in any of the circuit, if you see this type of the symbol, this indicates that the electric cell is present. That means we are going to pass the electricity in that position. What this symbol indicates? This symbol indicates that electric cell, that means electric point is there in that circuit. This symbol indicates that there is a electric point. In the circuit, if you see anywhere this symbol indicates that electric point is there. Next, if you see this is the plug key. Okay, this symbol indicates the plug key. If this plug key is like this type of the plug key we call as an open plug key. In the circuit, if you saw this type of the symbol, then it indicates that open plug key. That means the circuit is open. No electricity is passed there. That is the open circuit. If the plug key is like this, if the plug key is empty, then you are going to think that no electricity is passed. That is the open circuit. If the plug key is like this indicates that closed circuit. What it indicates? It indicates that it is the closed circuit and the flow of electricity takes place. After that, this symbol indicates that the wire joint, that means some of the other extra connection in the circuit takes place. If only the one wire is there, means another wire is come and join there. This indicates that here the wire joint is there. After that, this symbol indicates that electric bulb is used. What here it indicates? It indicates that electric bulb is used. This is for the resistance. I will explain what is resistance, every concept. But if you see this type of the symbol in the circuit, this indicates the resistance. And this type of the symbol indicates the variable resistance. This is resistance. This is the variable resistance. Resistance, variable resistance. And this symbol indicates the ammeter that we already discussed in the last class. This symbol indicates the voltmeter. This is the symbol for the ammeter and this is for the voltmeter. One more time we just see it. This is for the electric cell This is closed key. If it is removed, it is the open key. Wire joint, electric bulb, resistance, variable resistance, ammeter and voltmeter. These are the some of the important symbols what we are going to see in our electric circuits. I hope you understand all the symbols. And some other also symbols is there. We will discuss when the class is continuous. Okay. After seeing the some of the symbols that is used in the electric circuits, now we are going to start discussing with the very important definition, or you can say that important law that present in this chapter. This is the very important 2 marks question. How they are going to ask in your final examination? Define Ohm's law. O-H-M'(S). Define Ohm's law. O-H-M'(S). Ohm's law with an equation. In your final examination also, they are going to ask like this only. Define Ohm's law with an equation. For the definition, 1 mark, and for writing the equation, 1 mark. Therefore, you want to write the laws how it is written. Okay, don't use any extra things in the laws. Therefore, what is this Ohm's law? What is the definition of the Ohm's law? If you see that, what is the definition of the Ohm's law is at constant temperature. First, you want to start like this. At constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor. At constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its end. What is the definition? At constant temperature, the potential difference is directly proportional to the current, or otherwise you can say like this also. At constant temperature, the current, I indicates the current, right? At constant temperature, the current flowing through the circuit, that is I. At constant temperature, the current flowing in the circuit is directly proportional. What is the symbol this indicates? This symbol indicates that directly proportional. The current in the circuit, the flow of the current in the conductor. At constant temperature, the flow of the current in the conductor is always directly proportional to the, what indicates V? V is the potential difference. Therefore, what is the definition of the Ohm's law? It states that at constant temperature, the current flowing in the conductor is always directly proportional to the potential difference. It is very easy, right, to remember also. What is Ohm's law? At constant temperature, the flow of the electric current in the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference. This is the equation for the Ohm's law. V is directly proportional to I. If you are going to remove the potential difference, this symbol, directly proportional symbol, if you are going to remove the proportionality symbol, what is this symbol is called as? This symbol is called as a proportionality symbol. What is this symbol indicate? This symbol indicates that proportionality symbol. If you are going to remove this this symbol, okay, proportionality symbol, we are going to use one constant. In anywhere, I am not telling in this Ohm's law only. In anywhere, if you are going to remove the potential, this symbol, proportionality symbol, if you are going to remove the proportionality symbol in any of the equation, you want to put the constant. Here I taken the constants as the R. What is the constant I taken? The constant I taken is the R. What is the constant I taken? I taken the constant of the R. Therefore, V by I is equals to R. What do you written? V by I is equals to R. Otherwise, over R, we can write that cross multiplication. If you do the cross multiplication, the potential difference V is equals to I R. How you get? I into R. V into nothing is there means 1 is there. Therefore, V into 1, R into I, or I into R. Therefore, what is the formula to find the potential difference? V is equals to I R. But what is the expression for the Ohm's law? You want to write this expression. V is directly proportional to I. What it indicates that V is directly proportional to I? It states that at constant temperature, the flow of electric current in a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference. This is the definition of the Ohm's law, and also this is the equation for the Ohm's law. After that, if you see in the equation, if I want to just explain the terms in this equation, means V is the potential difference, I is the current, and R is the resistance. What is this resistance? I said that in this starting of the class only. I explained the concept of the resistance, right? What is this resistance then? If you see that what is the definition for the resistance means, it is the property. Okay, the resistance is the property of a conductor. It is the property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it. Take an example. I'm just giving the example, one example. Consider that if you are getting fever or anything else like that, they are going to tell that your resistivity power is less. That's why you are getting the fever. What is the meaning of that? Resistivity power. Your resistivity power is less. That's why you will get the fever. That means, what is that resistivity power means? The fighting capacity. The fighting capacity or immune capacity of your is less compared to that virus. That's why they are going to tell that your resistivity power is less. Here also the resistance indicates that how much the conductor. Here also it indicates that that for your body, okay, the resistivity power for the body. But if you see here, the resistance is for the conductor. That means you are going to tell that how much the conductor going to oppose the flow of the electric current through it. What is resistance? If they ask what is resistance means, the property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of the current through it. That we called as an resistance. Understood the definition of the resistance? What is resistance? The property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of the current through it. This is called as an resistance. You know that from according to the Ohm's law, what is the formula to find V by I is equals to R. Therefore, what is the formula to find the resistance? Resistance is equals to V by I. What is the formula to find the resistance? Resistance is equals to V by I. Formula to find the resistance is equals to V by I. And also we are discussing about the conductors and everything. Here we start discussing with the conductors, right? Therefore, what is this conductor then? I hope you already studied this concept in the 9th standard, right? What are conductors? The substance which allow the flow of electric current. And also if you want to say that the substance which have very low electric resistance. It means it can easily pass the electricity. What are conductors? What are good conductors? The substance which are going to easily pass the electricity. Otherwise, it has only the low resistance, not more. Okay? If the substance have the very low resistance, then that type of the substance we called as an good conductors. What are good conductors? The substance which flow the electricity very easily. Otherwise, it has very low resistance. That type of the substances we called as an good conductors. Examples for the good conductors are electric wires. electric wires are the very good examples for the good conductors. After discussing with the good conductors, the next definition is the resistors. What are these resistors? If you see that the substance which have comparatively high electric resistance, that means the substance which do not allow the electricity to pass through it. If the substance allow the electricity to pass through it, that we call as an conductors. If the substance which are not allow the electricity to pass through it, then that type of the substance we called as an resistors. What are resistors? And also it can be called as an, it have comparatively high electrical resistance. It has the high electrical resistance, the flow of current. It can hold the flow of current. That we called as an resistors. Conductor, the substance which can easily flow the electricity, or otherwise it has the low resistance. Here they have the high resistance. It has the high electrical resistance. Example, nichrome and manganese. These are the two substances which have the high resistance. And the next substance are the insulators. Here what are insulators means? Those substances which has the infinitely high electrical resistance. You can't imagine that. Okay, it has the very high, infinite, highly resistance capacity. That type of the substances we called as an insulator. Good conductor means low resistance. Resistor means high resistance. But if you see the insulator, infinitely high resistance. Infinitely high resistance. What is the resistance? What is resistance means? The property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of the current through it, that we call as an resistance. And if you see here, what are good conductors? It is the low resistance, resistor, high resistance, and also the insulator, very highly, infinitely highly resistance. Example, rubber. The substance which not allow the electricity to pass through it. If you see the resistor, sometime in the resistor there may be some current is flow. But in the insulator, the rubber, take an example of the rubber. Rubber do not pass the electricity. Okay, these are the some important definitions what we are going to see in the resistance. After that, we are going to discuss about what are the factors that affecting the resistance. What we are going to discuss now? Now we are going to discuss about what are the factors that affecting the resistance. What are the factors that affect the resistance? The first one is length of the conductor. Second one is area of the cross section. Third one, nature of the material. And the fourth one is the temperature. What are the four important factors that affect the resistance? The four important factors that affect the resistance is length, area, nature of material, and temperature. Now we will discuss one by one. First we will discuss about the length of the current. If you see the length of the current, if increases in the length, okay, if you are going to increase the length of the wire, therefore the resistance increases. If you are going to increase the length of the wire, therefore the resistance increases. Therefore what we are going to tell them that, therefore always R is directly proportional to L. The resistance is always proportional to the L. That is, if the length increases, resistance also increases. If length decreases, resistance also decreases. What is the first factor? The first factor is the length of the conductor. How we are going to discuss about the length of the conductor? If the resistance increases, if the length increases, the resistance increases. If length decreases, the resistance decreases. Coming to the next one, the area of the cross section. If you see the area of the cross section, always the area of the cross section is inversely proportional to the resistance. If the area of the cross section is increases, therefore resistance decreases. If area of the cross section is increases means the resistance is decreases. If area decreases means resistance increases. Therefore always the resistance is inversely proportional to the area. But length is directly proportional to the resistance. Length increases, resistance increases. length decreases, resistance decreases. But if you come to discuss with the area of the cross section, if the area increases, resistance decreases. But if area decreases, resistance increases. And the next character, that is nature of material. If you see the nature of material, the electric resistance of the conductor depends upon the nature of materials which is made. Some materials has the low resistance and some have the high resistance. It depends upon the material what we are going to take. Therefore, the nature of the material, if the resistance depends upon also the nature of material. For some of the material, the resistance is very high, but if you see the some of the material, the resistance is very low. And if you see the last character, that is of the temperature. Okay, if you see that the temperature, the resistance of all the pure metal increases on rising the temperature and decreases on lowering the temperature. Therefore, here, if you see the temperature for the pure metal, if the temperature increases, resistance also increases. If temperature decreases, means the resistance also decreases. These are the four important factors that affects the resistance. What are the four important factors that affects the resistance? The four important factors that affects the resistance is the first one, length of the conductor, second one, area of cross section, third, nature of material, and the fourth one is temperature. These are the four factors that affects the resistance. In the next class, we are going to discuss about some other information that present in this chapter. Up to that, bye everyone.